Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. We are going to let all the participants join, and we'll get started in just a few moments. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're going to let all participants get settled in, and we'll begin shortly. Hello, everyone. We are just waiting for all attendees to settle in, and we'll begin shortly. Thank you for your patience. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Eris Colgan, and I am the school leader at the elementary school. Thank you so much for joining us this evening to our new families orientation. The way this is going to work this evening is you have some of us who are live, but the presentation this evening is all previously recorded. So we're going to go through it slide by slide and play each video for you. If you have any questions at all throughout the presentation, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. You can enter questions there. They will either be answered live or you will receive a written response. We hope we are able to answer all of your questions this evening, and thank you so much for joining us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Growing Up Green Charter School's new family orientation for the elementary school in Long Island City. We are so glad you're here with us, and we have lots of exciting things to share with you about our school. We hope we're able to answer all of your questions today, and if not, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. If you'd like to receive this presentation in Spanish, please email Nixie Ramirez. Nixie, you have to unmute yourself.
Perdonen. Buenas noches. Si necesitan esta presentación en español, por favor, mándenme un correo electrónico
Hello again. This evening there's a handful of us who are live and some of us who are pre-recorded. You have myself, Eris Colgan. I'm the school leader. Thanks so much for being here.
Hello, families. I'm Erin Acosta, Director of Development. Welcome. We're really happy to have you here tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gianna Lunetta. I'm the Associate Director of Operations.
Hi, everyone. I am Masame Spar. I'm the Senior Director of Operations. Welcome.
Go back one slide, please. We also have with us this evening Angela Shee, who is our assessment coordinator. She's going to be helping us answer questions. And previously recorded on slides, we have Kirsten Russell, who's our Director of Support Services, Anthony Lisi, who's our Support Services and IEP coordinator, Rachel Gautham, our ENO coordinator, and Lauren Balterman, our Director of Counseling. The Growing Up Green Charter School empowers children to be conscious, contributing members of their community through a rigorous curriculum and an engaging green culture. Graduates of GUGs will be prepared to attend high-performing schools where their interdisciplinary academic foundation, knowledge of sustainability, and strong sense of self sets them apart as leaders of the future. Growing Up Green Charter School is one school, kindergarten through 8th grade. We have 2 campuses in Long Island City. One campus is for kindergarten through 5th grade, and our other campus is 6th through 8th grade. 5th graders are guaranteed a spot in our middle school. This slide highlights the high schools that this year's 8th grade graduating class will attend in the fall. We are so proud of all of the Growing Up Green graduates. Our school culture is grounded in 5 core values. Our 5 core values are marked by our acronym GREEN. G for giving back to those in our community. R for respecting those around us. E for embracing the differences in ourselves and others. E for empowering one another to always be our best. And N to nurture one another as we all learn and grow. School culture is an important component within the Growing Up Green community. We nurture ourselves and one another through celebrating our successes, our growths, and our relationships with one another. We do this throughout the school year in many different ways. Assemblies, concerts, winter carnival, diversity week, spirit week, sustainability fair, field day, and book fairs are just to name a few. As you join our community, we look forward to engaging in many more opportunities where we can learn, grow, and celebrate together. Responsive Classroom is at the foundation of our school culture at Growing Up Green. All faculty and staff are trained in Responsive Classroom, from classroom teachers to our facilities team. Responsive Classroom is a social-emotional curriculum that helps kids feel connected and joyful about their learning experiences. Every classroom at Growing Up Green begins their day with a morning meeting. Morning meeting consists of 4 components. A greeting, where each child gets to say hello to one another and they themselves are also greeted. A share, where they get to share something about themselves, their preferences. An activity that unites them as a community. And then a message from the teacher that highlights what's to come in the day. Responsive Classroom is woven throughout everything we do and helps make our community richer and more connected.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Balterman and I'm the Director of Counseling. Here at Growing Up Green, the counseling department works very closely with all classroom teachers to utilize the Second Step program. During Second Step time, social emotional topics are implemented to teach and empower students to learn and talk about topics such as social skills, conflict resolution, and empathy. Both Second Step and Responsive Classrooms are evidence-based programs. We use the two here at Growing Up Green together and in conjunction to create and ensure safe and joyous communities inside and outside the classroom. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact the counseling department. I look forward to meeting and seeing you soon. Thanks.
Inside our school day. At Growing Up Green, we have 3 classes per grade in grades K through 5. Each classroom has 2 teachers in each room and about 30 students. That leaves a ratio of about 1 teacher to every 15 students. Each grade has about 90 students, and we offer 3 different teaching models within our classrooms at Growing Up Green. We have lead assist, so that is 1 lead teacher who is more senior in their teaching career and an associate teacher. We have the co-teaching model, which is 2 certified teachers teaching side by side with equal responsibilities. And we also offer ICT teaching. ICT stands for Integrated Co-Teaching Design. An integrated co-teaching model offers 1 general education teacher and 1 special education teacher in the room. It's important to note that all classes at Growing Up Green practice an inclusive model. At Growing Up Green, we're incredibly lucky to have 4 content area coordinators to support and work with teachers in implementing and developing robust units of study that meet students' needs. At Growing Up Green, we have Angela Shee, who is our assessment coordinator. So she helps us organize assessments, collect data, and monitor student growth throughout the school year. We have Johanna Kriegel, who is our literacy coordinator, and Kayla Roby, who's our math coordinator. We also have an Ed Time coordinator. Ed Time stands for Explore and Discover Time. This is something that's unique to our school. And Explore and Discover Time is the project-based approach we take to exploring social studies standards. We are currently in the process of hiring our Ed Time coordinator for the 2020-2021 school year. We are eager for this new member to join our team and the ways that they will support our teachers and students throughout the year. Our core subjects at Growing Up Green include math, literacy, Ed Time, that's how we address social studies standards, and science. At the elementary school, we are incredibly lucky to offer a science lab experience to students. Students have half of their science classes in the classroom and the other half in the lab, allowing them access to hands-on experiment time. At Growing Up Green, we offer a variety of specials to students each week. We are incredibly lucky to offer physical education, where we have 2 PE teachers, Ms. Consiglio and Mr. Oliver. On this slide, you can see students playing games in the yard. You can also see Mr. Oliver and Ms. Consiglio dressed up for a spirit day. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see students competing in a family fitness challenge. All extraordinary events that our PE teachers put on this year. Up next, we offer art with Miss Canoe and Miss Joy. Here you'll see some students working on progress and creating art installations throughout our school. We have music that is led by Miss Wheeler, and here you'll see students performing in the lower left-hand corner. This was our concert for Black History Month that we performed at the Jacob Reese Center here in Long Island City. And in the upper right-hand corner, we have Green Voices. 4th and 5th grade students are allowed to audition for our Green Voices choir, and they perform at school events and community events throughout the school year. Next, we have Spanish and Latin American Studies. Our students in grades K through 2 study Spanish with Ms. Liliana Mendoza. And in grades 3 through 5, they take their Spanish lessons a little bit deeper and explore Latin American studies with Ms. Yvette Orjuela. Most important is that we're able to offer recess every day for students. We offer indoor and outdoor recess options based on weather. We truly believe as a school the importance of play and having the opportunity to breathe fresh air and get some exercise outside. you'll see a detailed schedule of what a typical school day at Growing Up Green looks like. We are being flexible given the current circumstances in the world and understand that this schedule may look different as we approach learning for next school year. Remote learning was new to Growing Up Green's elementary school this school year. Given the guidance for social distancing this spring, we have embarked on a remote learning platform at the elementary school. We're using Google Classroom and live Zoom sessions to help students connect, engage, and participate in learning. We've been able to offer special classes each week for students and their families, and we offer a variety of screen and screen-free options for students. As we began remote learning in March, we set up distribution days for families to pick up devices from the school during the periods of distance learning. We look forward to continuing our learning in person and remotely in the coming school year. Homework's an important component of any elementary school experience. At Growing Up Green, we believe that the purpose of homework is to build a foundation of skills and routines to help students as lifelong learners. We encourage you to read with your student each day, to build positive work habits and associations with homework, to build stamina, and maintain that homeschool connection. In grades K through 3, weekly homework packets are assigned and students are able to work through them at their pace. In 4th and 5th grade, students begin receiving nightly homework in preparation for middle school. Monitoring student progress throughout the school year is an important component to tracking students and supporting them where they are. At Growing Up Green, there are 2 main assessments that are used. Looking forward, looking back is our internal assessment that we administer in 6-week intervals. This helps us look at how students are progressing towards grade level benchmarks. Additionally, in students grades 3 through 8, all take the New York State ELA math and science tests. Here you can see how Growing Up Green performed compared to city, state, and district. As a charter school, and part of our reporting process is looking at our students as a whole and in 2-year cohorts. As you can see from the chart below, all students are indicated in the dark green, and students in our 2-year cohort are indicated in the light green.
Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten Russell, and I'm the Director of Support Services at Growing Up Green. If your child has an IEP or a 504 plan, we are here to help answer any questions you might have during this enrollment process. If you haven't done this already, please make sure to share a copy of your child's IEP or individualized education plan with the main office. This will help us to ensure that our services are able to begin in the fall in a timely manner. We look forward to meeting you, your family, and ensuring your child's learning is supported throughout the year.
Hi, my name is Anthony Lisi, and I am the IEP Support Services Coordinator at Growing Up Green. Some of the special education services we offer at our school include integrated co-teaching classes, or ICT, special education teacher support services, or SETS, counseling services, speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and hearing services. Our goal is for our students to develop their social, emotional, and academic ability.
Hello, my name is Rachel Gautham, and I am the ENL coordinator at Growing Up Green. Welcome. We know that it is an asset to belong to a community that speaks over 40 different languages. We can all learn and grow so much from listening to and knowing each other. As an ENL team, our job is to support students who are coming to school and learning a new language at the same time as new academic content. We know that that requires support and takes a lot of hard work. We provide support by going into the classroom and helping students access the curriculum alongside their peers and general education teachers. And sometimes we have small groups that meet outside of the classroom, where we provide a safe space for students to practice their newly acquired English skills. If you have any questions about the language support your child may need or may be eligible for, please reach out and send an email. I look forward to meeting you all.
Hello, I'm Erin Acosta, the Director of Development at Growing Up Green. I oversee GUG's family engagement and fundraising activities. I'm also a Growing Up Green parent. My daughter is entering the 8th grade in the fall, and my son is a graduate of Growing Up Green. He graduated 3 years ago. At Growing Up Green, we really value our families as partners in their child's education. There are many ways for you to be a part of our school community. We have a robust parent-teacher organization, our PTO. You are automatically a member, so welcome. Our PTO hosts fun activities throughout the school year, and they sponsor many important programs, including our recycled uniform sales and our book fairs. There are a lot of fun ways for you to be involved in your child's education, and we invite you to join us at the school for family game nights and family workshops. As you can see here, we have pictures of family literacy night, family fitness night, and our volunteers at the book fair in the fall. We also have whole school events like the Winter Carnival and assemblies. We host publishing parties in our classrooms, and we invite families to be chaperones on our many, many field trips. The pictures here, you can see families at our science night and our welcome back gardening event and the potluck at the Winter Carnival. Of course, all of these events are pending CDC and DOH recommendations as we move into the fall. On remote learning, we have tried to keep our sense of community alive by having Zoom events for our families and engaging our community in fun activities like our Spirit Fridays. One of the ways we support all our students and our families is by asking everyone to make a contribution, whatever that size contribution works for your family, that goes towards all the programs that we have at Growing Up Green. For example, we will not be asking you to be buying school supplies for your child's classroom. Instead, we buy them in bulk, and we ask families to make a donation that goes towards their purchase. Also, all our children will be going on all the field trips. They will have access to all the special programs. And this year we are making sure that our families have the technology that they need, just in case we need to go back into remote learning. So in August, you'll be getting more information about how you can make a donation. But we fundraise together so that every student at Growing Up Green has access to these great programs. One of the wonderful parts about being a student at Growing Up Green is how we make sure that what is happening in the classroom comes alive for our students. And a big part of that is our Ed Time programming and our field trips. Our students go on lots and lots of field trips, and it really is a great way for families to get involved, because in order for the field trips to happen, we need chaperones. So you'll see pictures here from the Staten Island Ferry, the Brooklyn Bridge, Brooklyn Grange, Rooftop Farm, and a long list here of lots of the great places we've gone in the last few years. Of course, next year may look a little different, so we will be waiting on guidance from the CDC, the DOH, and the DOE, and we will adjust our field trip plans accordingly. If we are unable to go out into the city with our students, we will find ways to bring the city to them through remote learning. Another part of our Ed Time programming are our in-school residencies. These are programs where we invite teaching artists to come to the school and expand our students' learning. Here you see our 4th grade Native Peoples residency, our 3rd grade Chinese culture workshop, and our 1st graders created an in-school post office. These project-based learning experiences ground our students in real-world learning, and they're a lot of fun.
I'm the Senior Director of Operations at Growing Up Green Charter Schools. I'll be introducing Gianna Lunetta, who's the Associate Director of Operations at Growing Up Green Charter School Elementary in Long Island City. We're super excited to have you here tonight and super excited to start the new year with you.
Hello, I'm Gianna Lunetta, Associate Director of Operations. I know most of you have either been in touch directly with me or a member of my team, and we're really looking forward to meeting you all. Here to put some faces to names, we have Ms. Nixie, our Office Administrator, Ms. H, Alex Huberweiss, who's our Operations Manager, and Rebecca Rosa and Sarah Rosa, who are not related but are always ready to help answer any questions you may have. Here are some of the things my team and I handle throughout the school year and what we'll be going over into greater detail here. They are enrollment, transportation, breakfast and lunch, uniforms, medical, and after school. Generally, the free yellow school bus is provided for all our students who live in District 30. This is provided through the Department of Education's Office of Pupil Transportation. And if you click on this link, it will bring you to the OPT's Rules of Eligibility. Bus routes and stops are traditionally assigned in late August by the OPT. So while we don't have the bus information for this coming school year just yet, we can provide you with a list of past bus stops if you'd like. Just reach out to one of us and we can send this to you. 2 other quick things to note. This is not door-to-door service, but generally students have a bus stop within a few blocks of their residence. And according to the OPT's guidelines, students must use the same bus stop every day. Here's some information on breakfast and lunch, which is provided through school food, the same organization most DOE schools use throughout the city. Both breakfast and lunch are free for all students. We do ask that you submit the annual lunch form, which is available starting July 1st, and we'll also be reaching back out to you over the summer once it's available to remind you to fill it out. You are, of course, welcome to pack your child a healthy lunch from home, but please keep in mind we do not heat up food for students. And also, students generally have a daily shared snack in the classroom. Once a month, families are asked to bring in enough individually wrapped snacks for each student in their class. We do have and follow a healthy food policy, which supports our overall mission here at Growing Up Green. And all of these details can also be found in our family handbook, which is published each year and posted on our school's website. And as we mentioned, we do provide all the school supplies your child will need here at Growing Up Green, but your child does need to bring a water bottle with them each day. and they can fill this up at any of our hands-free water fountains. Moving on to uniforms, they are required for all students. Details, including links to our uniform providers, which are Land's End and French Toast, can be found on our website or by clicking the link on this slide. And our parent-teacher organization also has details on fair trade uniforms if that's something you might be interested in. Here are some examples of our uniform. The polo shirts are white in this picture, but you can choose from any color you'd like: red, yellow, blue, purple, pink, green, etc. Bottoms are only khaki pants, shorts, or skirts. And sweaters are available from our providers, Land's End and French Toast, and they must have the school logo embroidery. And most closed-toed shoes are acceptable. I usually suggest a nice pair of sneakers since we do have recess every day. And also just want to note the clothing items that are not acceptable, which include Crocs, open-toed shoes, hoodies, or hats. Here you can see that we have a nurse on site every day from 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The nurse is provided through the DOH or Department of Health. I know we've already been in touch with most of you about medical paperwork, and just a reminder that we will need all students' most up-to-date immunizations and their health exam form before the start of the school year. You can submit these directly to me or one of my team members by email. And we'll also need your child's MAF or medical administration form if your child has any allergies or asthma conditions that require them to have medication administered at school. In addition to being in touch with the school nurse about any medical conditions, we also always ask families to make sure their child's classroom teachers and the main office, which is my team, are aware of these medical conditions. And if you have any questions at all about any of these things that I've gone over, please reach out to me via email, and I will be sure that either myself, Ms. Nixie, or one of the Ms. Rosas will get back with you as soon as possible. And now I will turn it over to Alex for our after-school program.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex and I'm the operations manager here at Growing Up Green 1 in Long Island City. I'm going to be talking to you about the after school program and giving you a sense of what every afternoon looks like and what you can expect from us. Hi again. So the after school program is offered every afternoon, Monday through Friday from 3:30 until 6 p.m. Students who are signed up for our after school program would go straight to their clubs following regular school dismissal at 3:15. Our afternoons are broken up into 3 club blocks from 3:30 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5:30, and 5:30 until 6 p.m. We encourage families to pick up their students at either of those 3 times between club blocks, so either at 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., or at 6 p.m. Our afternoons are built to be as flexible as possible so that families can sign up for the coverage that they need based on their work hours. So students can be signed up for 1 club block every afternoon, for the first 2 club blocks every afternoon, or for all 3 club blocks every day. We also encourage people to sign up for whatever clubs they find the most interesting and only come for the ones that they really love, if that is possible for the family. Our program is built to be absolutely designed for each student to get what they need. Our program runs in 2 semesters. The first semester, our fall semester, runs from mid-September through January, and the second semester, which is our spring semester, runs from February and through June. There is no break between these 2 semesters, so there would never be a gap in after-school coverage because we know that people need this coverage as much as possible. The only time where we wouldn't have after school would be when the school is already on a break, such as spring break or Thanksgiving break. The other days where we cannot offer after school is when the school has 1 p.m. dismissals or early dismissals. These dismissals are days when there are family teacher conferences or all school events such as the Sustainability Fair. On those days, there would not be after school offered. The cost of clubs is based on how many clubs a student is in. Our after-school cost is $10 per club per day. So for example, if a student is only signed up for 1 club each week, that would be $10 per week or $40 per month. This monthly cost is an estimate. Some months that we are in school have fewer weeks in them because we are already on a school break, such as December, where the last week of that month we are on winter break. So the monthly cost for December would only be about $30. Our clubs are led by Growing Up Green staff and by working artists and specialists who we bring in as independent contractors. All of these people get to design their clubs around whatever topics or interests they themselves care about and want to share with our students. We try to offer a huge range of different topics to capture as many different interests as possible. We often have many diverse things such as Cooking Club, which is always incredibly popular and students come back every year, to Harry Potter Club, to Puzzle Club, to Lego Club, to various sports clubs like soccer and basketball, and everything in between. We really encourage teachers to think about ways that they want to build their students' social emotional lives and engage them in topics that they might not be able to experience during a normal school day. Our clubs are offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Each club has about 20 students in it, and the first people who sign up for a club get into that club. This means that unfortunately we cannot guarantee a spot for every student in every club that they want, but we try to offer as many interesting clubs as possible so that there is at least something that they're excited about in every time slot. We will be sending out more information about what our schedule is and what clubs are being offered each semester in the first week in September, so please keep an eye open for that at the end of the summer. There will also be information coming out then about registration. Please keep an eye out for what time and what day that registration will open and try to register as soon as possible. Again, because of this first-come, first-served basis, we want to make sure that as many people get their first choices as possible. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you in after school next year.
I'm sure many of you are curious about our school calendar and our first day of school for next school year. We are currently awaiting guidance from the New York City Department of Education on their calendar before finalizing ours. Once it's finalized, we will be sure to share it with you. Traditionally, Growing Up Green starts the last week of August. We can't wait to meet all of you and begin learning and growing together. Thank you again for coming to learn more about Growing Up Green and joining our community. Thank you for joining us for this information session. Please visit our website at www.gugcs.org for more information about our school. Now that you're part of our school community, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates on our school and see pictures of students in real-time learning. All right, so we're going to take this time to answer a few questions that have come through the Q&A. If you have questions, now is a great time to please type them in. We have two options open in this webinar. There is the chat function and there is the Q&A function. We ask that you please use the Q&A function when asking questions so that we can all support in answering them. Erin, do you want to take that first question?
Thank you, Eris. One of the families posed a question: what is the diversity ratio in our school, specifically Black children versus other races? So I'm going to read a long list of statistics. So I just have this on the side here. We have about 44 languages spoken at home. We have just under a 0.5% of families that identify themselves as American Indian or Alaskan Native. We have 15.3% families that identify as Asian, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander. We have 16.8% families that identify as Black or African American. We have 43.8% families that identify as Hispanic or Latino. We have 21.5% families that identify as white. And we have 2.2% families that identify as multiracial. Seeing I'm giving stats very quickly, I'll also share that we have 14.6% of our students are ENLs, and 56% of our students are Title I students. That is for our whole school. We are a K-8 school. I know the question, I think they wanted to know maybe in specific classrooms, but that is the stats for the whole school, K-8.
Angela, do you want to take us through some of the other questions?
Yes. Several families are asking if we will get this information after this presentation.
Yep, so Jana here. I am definitely going to be sending the presentation to everyone on this webinar right now. So you will get the presentation with all the links, the email addresses. You can click through it as a PDF. We will also be sending you a video. So if you want to re-watch it, you are able to do that also. So you will be hearing from us and being able to access all of that probably tomorrow morning.
Do we have any idea of when we know the schedule and what school will look like in the fall?
So we're currently awaiting guidance from the CDC, the Department of Health, and the Department of Education. We are working with consultants as well, and we have an internal team assembled to design and figure out what the school day will look like as we approach the fall. Unfortunately, I do not have a timeline for that right now, but we are actively working on it, I assure you, considering all people's perspectives, including families and teachers. And we will be sharing that with everyone as soon as we have that plan solidified, probably in a webinar style like this.
Can you kind of speak to what remote learning has looked like for our students?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will explain what remote learning has looked like in this emergency state of remote learning with the sort of caveat that as we approach remote learning or the potential for remote learning in the fall, we will continue to adjust and evaluate our practices. Currently, we are using Google Classroom as our platform. Morning meeting is hosted live via video every day for 30 minutes, which is a great opportunity for students to connect. Specials teachers are hosting live sessions. There's one live special class each day. And then teachers are hosting a morning and an afternoon live session where students can join at will to get support, one-on-one, small group, ask questions, and problem solve together.
There is also a question about for kids with IEPs, do we have a special class or lower number of students?
We do not have a smaller class as an option at Growing Up Green. We do offer ICT setting, which is still 30 students in a classroom, one special education teacher, and one general education teacher.
Those were most of the questions that we had. If you have any other questions, please type it into the Q&A box. We have a few more minutes.
I saw one question about vegan lunch options. So just wanted to let you know that the school food provides all of the food for our students for breakfast and lunch. And while there is not necessarily a vegan option in the hot lunch line, there is always a salad bar available for those students that want to take from the salad bar. I always recommend if your child has, strict dietary needs, safest bet is to always bring something from home.
There was a question about the kinds of sports and activities that happen during physical education as well.
So our physical education program at the elementary school focuses on skills, and sometimes that is woven into sports. I know they did some study around basketball this year. There was a little bit of hockey. Jana or Erin, you can jump in at any time, but we mostly focus on foundational skills and then cooperative games to help kids in those team building.
Yep, and I'd say they're always very age appropriate. You know, you can see the progression from kindergarten through 5th grade. They do very different activities. And I think that, you know, they really tailor it to their audience. Always something different.
There's a question that's coming through the chat about how strictly will the school follow through with the CDC guidelines.
So once again, we're looking to the CDC, the Department of Health, the Department of Education, and we're working with 2 consultants. The health, safety, and well-being of our students, our families, and our staff is our first priority as we look at what reopening school will be. We do not take this lightly. We are considering all perspectives, all opinions, and want to make sure health and safety is our first and foremost.
There's a question about how to ensure that students are in after-school programs every day in the event that parents are full-time working parents.
So my suggestion, if you are going to rely on after school every day for the full time, you need to just be one of the first people to sign up when that registration comes live each semester. That is very well publicized. You'll get a number of emails about it. You can be in touch with our after school team directly so you know weeks ahead of time when that registration date and time is. It's typically 6 p.m. is when the registration time is. And like I said, you can find out when that date and time is weeks in advance. And I suggest you just go on right at 6 o'clock and you sign up right at 6 o'clock for whatever after school clubs you need, and make sure that, you know, the after school team knows that you are in need of aftercare every day. And I would say your chances, if you sign on right at 6 o'clock, right when the registration comes live, I would safely say 99.9% chance that you will get into everything you need. But only if you sign in right at 6 o'clock on the registration date.
And to add to that, I was going to say that I think also that we do a really good job of helping as many families as possible get into our after school program. But sometimes you won't get your first choice, and you might not get your second choice. So I think that's the other part of it, that families, we have lots of different programs, but you to be flexible with what choices we have available when you do fill out that form.
Thank you, Jana and Erin. There's a question about the cost of school uniforms.
So the cost of school uniforms, you know, it really depends on where you choose to purchase your uniforms. You can look on the websites to see, you know, what they are currently charging for the uniform shirts and embroidery. As for the bottoms, you can purchase the khaki bottoms anywhere, Old Navy, Children's Place, from Land's End or French Toast, that you have a lot of flexibility with. For the polo shirts, you know, there's 2 different price points. Land's End is one of our vendors, is a little higher, and then French Toast is a little lower price point for the uniform polo shirts. And then there's also an option that usually happens once the school year starts. At the beginning of the school year are recycled uniform sales. And obviously for recycled uniform sales at the beginning of the year, we'll send you out all of those details as, you know, we know the dates of those, but those are very, very affordable options also. So, you know, it just sort of depends. You have to sort of go to the different websites, which I am very happy to help you navigate if you'd like. But yeah, there's definitely options out there for different price points of uniforms.
And can I add to that? I encourage all families to like our Facebook page. Land's End has coupons throughout the summer. They usually do a free logo coupon, and then they do either 30 or 40 or 50% off if you buy so many polos. So once those coupon codes go live, we always put them on our Facebook page. So it's another, get in the habit now of checking it, and it's a good way to stay up to date with what's going on at the school.
Can you speak to when we would start accepting recycled uniforms in that program?
I can take this one. So our PTO, it's all volunteers, it's all families. We usually have a bin in the school, and folks can just drop uniforms off when they stop by the building. Obviously right now things are very different. So we are working with our PTO to figure out what supplies we have of recycled uniforms and when we can safely be in the building to do that. So at the moment, the program's a little bit suspended because we can't actually get to the supply of uniforms. But when the PTO and the school have worked that out together, we will let families know. Again, we will be communicating heavily on our Facebook page and via email.
Hi, everyone. So I was going to do a quick time check. We have time for about 1 to 1.5 questions. So if you have a question and we don't answer it, we will answer it tomorrow when we send out the presentation to everyone. So if you do have a question, please add it to the Q&A. We have time to answer about 1 to 2 if you have one.
So I think this is our last question this evening. It just came through. What time does the school start? So typically we begin our school day at 7:55, but our school doors open under regular circumstances at 7:20 a.m. for breakfast. We serve breakfast from 7:20 to 7:55. At 7:55, children transition to their classrooms, and about 8 o'clock, morning meeting is beginning. All right. I think that's it. Thank you everyone for coming this evening. We hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. We know we will be in touch. We will keep you up to date as we figure out what the fall is going to look like. And we're really thrilled that you're joining our school. So thank you.